I've heard just some amazing dialogue about conflict resolution. I'm still a bit confused, being that I'm a manager of a large company and also want to raise a family, how to bring this consciousness into not using rewards or punishment in my dealings with people and my future family.
So give me some situations, both at work and the family, where it would seem difficult to look at options other than punishment or reward. What kind of situations seem impossible to deal with without those two?
An employee that continues to show up late for work and is not doing the job that they're paid to do.
Come on up here and we'll see how to deal with this rascal. So you've asked me to come in, and I have been late for work regularly, and certain jobs I have not done to your satisfaction. If I wanted this person to produce more to meet my needs for protecting the organization, the most powerful way I could begin would be to show that I'm interested in the needs that keep him from doing what I would like. So whatever it is, in fact, the more threatening the other person's behavior, as I mentioned yesterday, the more important it is to be able to begin the dialogue with empathizing with the needs that keep the person from behaving as we would like. If I'm working in countries where people are killing others, it's not the way I'd like to resolve the conflicts there. I begin by empathizing with their reasons for meeting their needs that way. Because I want to be sure that it's never my objective to change the other person. Whether it's a child that's doing something that I think is not in harmony with their needs or my needs, an employee, or in these more dramatic cases. I want to be sure that it's not my objective to get them to do what I want. Now that's pretty hard in a managerial situation, since that's almost the stereotype of the good manager, is able to get results, you see. So nonviolent communication, that's not our objective, to get results. This process, nonviolent communication, is not designed to get results. What is it designed for? To create a quality of connection with other people in which everybody's needs get met, and they get met through natural giving, not through any guilt questions or shame questions or fear. See? So, in other words, I don't approach this employee with the objective of getting him to work on time or to produce more. I approach this employee with the objective of creating a quality of connection with him that will end with both of our needs getting met. It's a radical paradigm shift. Your objective needs to be to get everybody's needs met. Okay, so with that theory in mind, let's put that into practice. So let's begin with empathy. And through empathy, show that you see that his not coming to work and his producing near zero is the most wonderful thing in the world he could be doing.
So I'm myself?
You're yourself with giraffe ears, yes. And so you want to empathize with what's keeping this person from coming on time. See, not for the purposes of getting him there on time, but for connecting, so that you can form a connection so that everybody's needs can get met.
I just better want to understand what the need is for you to arrive 20 minutes late for work every day.
Okay, that's pretty close, but you began with a request. Never make a request, especially when you're in a position of authority, without nakedly revealing what's in your heart at this moment first. Never ask a question or make a request when you're in a position of authority without revealing your heart first. So how are you feeling right now, and what are your needs behind that question?
I'm a little frustrated because my need for the group to work together on an agreed upon time, and I'm wanting to know what your need is for showing up 20 minutes late for work.
Yeah, there's really, I could give you an excuse. I could tell you, that there's other things, but the fact is, I just have a bad habit. I'm just terrible about time, and I've always been this way, and I know I shouldn't, and I tell myself I should be on time, and I do everything I can to get there, and the next thing I know, I'm late, and it happens all the time. And
so it sounds to me like your need is you're afraid to have to be somewhere at a particular time.
It's it's kind of afraid because I know that I should be there on time, and I'll set the clock early. I'll remind myself, and I know I should be on time, but and I don't know what happens, but I guess I just have a bad habit. I'm just bad about time.
So it sounds like you really want to be there on time.
Yes, I see that, we want to have a team that's ready for work. I can see that it aggravates everybody when, there's telephone calls waiting for me that I didn't get to, that I told people I'd be there. I see, and I tell myself this the whole morning. I'll be sure you have to get there on time today.
So it feels like you're frustrated because you're not being able to arrive on time.
Exactly, and this is a long-standing thing. I mean, this goes back to the time in school. I had the same problem. I mean, my father, mother, it's not their fault because they were people very prompt, always prompt, and they told me that if I'm to be, a success in life, I have to be prompt, and I agree with them. I can see that, you don't get respect if you're not prompt. I know I should be on time.
So you're frustrated by the fact that you're not able to be there on time?
Yes, very frustrating. It's aggravating to me. It's a terrible habit not to be on time. It violates other people. It's not respectful to others. It's a terrible habit.
So you're frustrated at the fact that not only do you feel you're not on time for yourself, but also for other people?
Exactly, yes. So obviously this must be a pretty strong need that this person is meeting. If it's not meeting other needs of theirs, the need that it's meeting must be very strong. See, because people never do anything that isn't in the service of a need. So obviously, even though this person has the same needs that you do for productivity, respect for other people's time, there's an even stronger need that's keeping this person from doing it. So that's empathy for that need is what you need to have. The need that is keeping this person from being on time. This person would be on time if they weren't meeting another need not to be on time. Now notice this person isn't in touch with their need. They have a self-diagnosis that I just have a bad habit. It's like when people I'm working with who drink more than their liver would like. I say, could you help me understand? You tell me you want to live longer, and you know the doctor has said about your liver, and yet you're wolfing down that stuff. Can you help me understand? Well, I'm an alcoholic. See? The doctor said, yeah. Nobody's ever drunk because they're an alcoholic, Jack. Well, then why am I drinking? Doctor said, I know you've been told that, I know. That's not why I think you drink. Well, why am I drinking? Because it's meeting your needs. You wouldn't be drinking if it wasn't meeting your needs. What needs? It's killing me. Look at the doctor showed me the x-ray. My liver's starting to look like a raisin. Yeah. So you have a strong need for health. Yes, I want to live, be healthy. So it must be a strong need. Yeah. What's the need that would be so strong that people are willing to risk their jobs, respect from other people, their health. What's the need? Autonomy, yes. It's a strong need. See, this person's got an inner jackal telling himself he should be on time. Inner jackals are the most vicious and authoritarian of all. Now, if not only that inner jackal is telling him he should be on time, but his parents, outside jackals, you should be on time earlier. Now he has employers who are communicating that he damn well better be on time. It just makes his need for autonomy under even more panic attack. So he's putting in a lot of energy to protect his autonomy, but not conscious of that. He thinks he has a bad habit about time, or a drinking problem, or I'm a drug addict. No. We don't do anything that isn't meeting our needs.
Can I ask the jackal for me? Am I able to share my needs?
We have to make sure you've heard his need. Now, I was helping you because you were hearing his feelings wonderfully about how frustrated he is and so on. But you hadn't yet heard the central piece that we needed to hear, the need that was keeping him from meeting your need. See, that's the need you need to hear. So how would you put it? Let me help you even more. I'll get him to make it clear. So, Jackal, how do you feel when you keep telling yourself that you should be on time? Well, I agree with it. Yeah, but how do you feel? I get angry. I get angry, thinking I have to do something. Yeah. So, you have a strong need to do things because you choose to do them and not when you feel you're forced to do them. Well, nobody's forcing me to do it. Yeah, you're forcing yourself to do it. Yeah, I never thought of that. Yeah, you're forcing yourself to do it. You're thinking you should do it. Well, I should. Now, hold it. See, that's why you're not. Why? Because you think you should. Because you have a need, you just said. You hate to do things when you're forced to do it. So, you choose to assert yourself, even in the face of your own internal messages. Well, yeah, I guess I see what you mean. So put that in your life. Reflect back to show that you understand what's keeping this person from being on time.
So, Jackal, let me understand this. It sounds to me that you're afraid because you're feeling that you're forced to have to be here on a particular time, and that creates fear within you.
Irritation. As soon as I hear that I have to do something, then there's a part of me that just gets stubborn. Damn it, who says I have to?
So you're angry by the fact that you have to do something.
Yeah, and then I'm going to just show that, by God, I'm going to do what I want. But I don't do that very consciously. Until we started to talk about it now, I wasn't aware of how strong this is. Yeah, I used to hate it when my parents told me that. You have to be on time. They were so that way about everything. There's some things you have to do, and then teachers would say that. You have to be on time if you're going to be successful.
So that makes you angry by feeling that someone's telling you have to do something.
Yeah. I want to live my life. I want to be in charge of my life. I don't want to live up to other people's rules. But I know I should. Hold it, Jackal. See, you just internalized that. What do you mean? The problem now, it's not the other people now. The big problem is you've internalized it. You're your own dictator. Yeah. It's that inner message that gets me most angry of all. Yeah. But the need is you want to choose to do things, not out of an energy of obligation, duty, you're going to be punished if you don't. You want to live your life choosing to do it out of some other energy. That's right. I hate rules that are set up that way. Okay. Now tell the jackal how you feel now that you've heard what's going on for the jackal.
Well, Jackal, my need is to know that when we decide on a time that we agree upon, that that time will be met, that agreement.
So Jackal, I would suggest you ask the Jackal to tell you back what he heard.
Jackal, what did you just hear me say?
Oh, I agree with you. I agree with you. I mean, it's a bad habit. I should be on time. So see, we're just going to repeat the parental situation, the teacher situation, even though you came from the heart. He's had many years of hearing that you should be on time. So let's ask, it's a radical paradigm shift now, to get this Jackal to do things on the basis of the joy of meeting human needs, rather than the fear of not living up to other people's standards. That's a major shift. So I'm glad I asked you to ask this Jackal. So, Jackal, did you hear his needs? Yeah, he has a need for me to be on time. No. What needs of his would be met? Well, he thinks that a person should. What are his needs? What will help him break through this hard to break through habit is the need. You see, the need is where the power is, because when our consciousness is need-centered, it naturally is enjoyable to give. But he hasn't heard your need yet, and you haven't said it. You haven't really made clear what the need is of yours that would be met if he were on time. See, that's where we are deficient in our education, in a need literacy. The part that has the power to break out of the old games of bondage is the need. That then gives us another possibility to do things on the basis of enriching life. But we don't have the literacy that has the power to do that. Before I started to teach this process of nonviolent communication, or giraffe language, as I guess most of you know, I was a professional wolf. This is what I refer to as my profession of clinical psychology. I call it professional wolf because I started to realize that the way I had been trained to think about people was not really in harmony with how I'd like to think about people. Here's a song I wrote about my profession, professional wolf. I call this the Sink or Shrink Blues. Well, I went to a shrink in a clinic near me. He said I was a case of total pathology. I said, shrink, I knew that before I came in. I need someone to care, not this analyzer. He asked me if I had any of those strange habits. Oh, I said a few, but I was always willing to learn some more. So he gave me some pills. He said, take them each day. But I said pills wouldn't take my blues away. I said, shrink, my blues come from people like you, who know what I am, but not what I've been through. See, folks, he was one of those old-fashioned doctors. He still thought you needed a prescription to get drugs. Well, that shrink saw what he was trained to see. He just never got around to seeing me. So I left that shrink. I wasn't impressed. And now there's two who flew the cuckoo's nest.